Hello. In today's class, let us learn about the xylem tissue. It is an important tissue in the plant system. Before going to that, complex tissues. Plant tissues are broadly divided into simple tissues, complex tissues. Simple tissues are made up of only one type of cells, whereas complex tissues are a group of dissimilar cells. A group of dissimilar cells. Though they are dissimilar, they perform the same function. All of them. Suppose even if 3 types, 4 types are there, all the 4 perform the same function. And they perform a specific function attributed to them, assigned to them. Then the complex tissues are 2 types, xylem, phloem. Xylem, phloem. Complex tissues which contain more than one type of cells but performing the same function, same specific function, or 2, xylem, phloem. Xylem, in today's class, let us discuss about the xylem tissue. Xylem is a complex tissue, consists of more than one type of dissimilar cells. It is a conducting tissue. It conducts the materials. What materials we will see? Also provides mechanical strength. When the xylem is in primary nature, it is conducting, but when secondary xylem in older plants, trees, it also provides mechanical strength. Also known as hydroma. Hydro means water. Water conducting tissue. It is present in all vascular plants. What are the vascular plants in plant kingdom? Pteridophytes, gymnosperms, angiosperms. These are xylem tissue is absent in bryophytes and algae. A typical xylem consists of tracheids elements, xylem fibers, xylem parenchyma. Tracheids elements, xylem fibers, xylem parenchyma. First, let us take tracheids elements. The tracheids elements are main elements. They are elongated dead cells. They are elongated dead cells. Secondary cell walls are lignified. The secondary cell wall is lignified, but chemically that secondary cell wall is made up of lignin. Then narrow lumen, because the secondary cell wall is thickened, lumen is reduced. It will be very narrow, empty. Tracheids elements are 2 types. Tracheids, trachea or vessels. Trachea or vessels. Now, in one way we can say xylem consists of 4: tracheids, vessels, xylem fibers, xylem parenchyma. Tracheids, trachea, these belong to one type. These two are different types. Now, if you take the tracheids, characteristics, what are the characteristics of the tracheids, or how can we differentiate the tracheids and trachea? Elongated with broad middle part, tapering ends, pointed ends. They are dead, no cytoplasm, no nucleus, lignified cell wall. The cell wall, secondary cell wall, is lignified. Lumen narrow, this is the lumen. Then they consist of bordered pits. What are these pits? In the pit areas, lignin will be absent. Secondary cell wall will be present, only primary cell wall, and the cell membrane, if at all present, cell membrane will be present. These are bordered like this. So these are present on the longitudinal walls. The tracheids are arranged one above the other, not exactly one above the other, but overlapping. This is one tracheid. This is another tracheid. The upper part of this tracheid overlaps with the lower part of another tracheid. Main function, upward conduction. Whatever the water, dissolved minerals absorbed by the roots, they are conducted to the shoot system through the tracheids. Secondary function, mechanical support, mechanical strength, so that it can stand erect. Other mechanical tissue is the sclerenchyma. Then present in all vascular plants, means they are present in pteridophytes, gymnosperms, angiosperms, in all. So these are the characteristics and functions of the tracheids. If you take the vessels or trachea, so these are elongated, wide, look at here, wide, cylindrical, not pointed. End walls are oblique. This is end wall, this is end wall. These are end walls. Oblique with perforation plates. Here, the perforation pits are present. These pits may be these oblique walls of pits, plates may be simple or with multiple pits. Dead, lignified secondary cell walls. Secondary cell walls are deposited in different patterns, not uniformly, but in different plants in different ways. That deposition may be in the form of rings, ring-like, annular. The deposition of the secondary cell wall may be spiral, continuous helical, scalary form, just like a ladder, one connected with another, one ring connected, one spiral connected with another, ladder-like, or reticulate, where most of the inner cell wall will be thickened with a secondary cell wall, and it appears like a net. Then pitted, the thickness of the secondary wall is very high, and here and there some pits are left out, consisting of pits. One important character you have to remember is these vessels or trachea are present only in angiosperms. They are not present in gymnosperms. They are not present in pteridophytes. In gymnosperms, these are reported in neatum. in ephedra. Present only in angiosperms. These are present in all vascular plants, right from pteridophyta, gymnosperms, angiosperms. So these are arranged one above the other. Here overlapping, not exactly one above the other, but overlapping. These are, so it looks like a continuous tube, therefore they are called vessels. Because one arranged above the other, it looks like a continuous tube. Then xylem fibers, we can say the sclerenchyma cells associated with xylem will be known as xylem fibers. Sclerenchyma, in fact, they are sclerenchyma cells. Elongated, spindle-shaped, dead, secondary cell walls are lignified, provide mechanical strength in addition to these tracheids and vessels. Two types, libriform fibers. Libriform fibers, they come from the sclerenchyma cells. Originally, they are sclerenchyma cells consisting of simple pits. The second, fiber tracheids, as the name itself indicates, they originate from non-functional tracheids. Sometimes the tracheids become non-functional because of excessive pressure or excessive stress, they become non-functional. Such type of fibers are called fiber tracheids. They consisting of bordered pits. These consist of simple pits, these are bordered pits. Then xylem parenchyma, fourth type of tissue is xylem parenchyma. We can say parenchyma cells present in the xylem or associated with the xylem. Two types. These, when we say parenchyma cells, the cell wall present, the secondary cell wall absent, it is not lignified, cytoplasm will be thin, very peripheral to the cell wall, nucleus present, vacuolated, all the characteristics of the parenchyma cells we can apply here. The two types, ray parenchyma like this, one above the other. These are all parenchyma cells. Then another axial parenchyma in horizontal rows, one above the other, just like a plate. Vertical rows, one above the other, one above the other, but in horizontal rows. Ray parenchyma, axial parenchyma. So thus we have tracheids, vessels. These two are called trachary elements. Xylem fibers, xylem parenchyma. Then another, tyloses. Tyloses. This is actually the vessel. This is pit. By the side of that vessel, a parenchyma cell will be present. Maybe because of the pressure exerted by the adjacent cells, the contents of the parenchyma cells enter into the lumen of the xylem vessels in the form of a balloon. These are called tyloses. Sometimes only tyloses or many tyloses. These are formed, actually present in the xylem vessels, but they originate from the surrounding parenchyma cells, neighboring parenchyma cells. These are tyloses. What is the importance of these tyloses? These tyloses are balloon-like structures. They obstruct the upward flow of water and minerals. Is it beneficial? or harmful? In some cases, it is beneficial. There are some pathogens like Fusarium, some bacteria, along with the water, they are transported to the shoot system. So these tyloses prevent the upward translocation of not only water and such type of pathogens. It is said that this is one of the mechanisms to prevent the pathogen to be translocated to the shoot system. These are tyloses. Then the plants that are having the xylem tissue are known as tracheophytes. The plants or plant groups having the xylem tissue. What are they? Pteridophytes, gymnosperms, angiosperms. These are the tracheophytes, not bryophytes and thallophytes. So this complex tissue, xylem, phloem, characters of the xylem, four types. First two types, tracheids, tracheic elements, trachea. Then tracheids, vessels, xylem fibers, xylem parenchyma. This is about the xylem tissue. In next class, I will take the another important tissue, that is the phloem.